Afternoon, everyone, or good morning or good evening, depending on where you're calling from or where you're joining us from. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day for this session. I'd like to introduce you to VGC Group. They're going to talk to us today about how to leverage the digital technology and commerce to increase sales. With me is Miss W.E. DeCruz and her partner, Miss Naomi Jordan Cook. They are experts in this field, and please take good notes because it's going to be a jam-packed and wonderful session. Thank you, and I'm turning it over. Go ahead, ladies.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pat Haynes and everyone at the Chicago MBDA Export Center. We are super excited to be here. Naomi and I, we like lively workshops, virtual workshops. I know there's like a whole thing about, what is it called? People are saying that people are now like zoomed out. So we like to keep our workshops super live. We love activity in the chat. And so Naomi and I have this joke at VGC Group that, some people like their honey in their tea. Some people like their honey tall, dark, and chocolate. Naomi and I, we like our honey on our money, okay? We like the global money. So everything we're gonna talk about today is about how to leverage digital technology and e-commerce to increase sales so that you can really get your share of the global transfer of wealth that's happening through the internet, through online. And so this is the first of a 4-day virtual workshop covering digital tools and systems. Just a little bit about us. Overall, the VGC Group, we are considered a global digital tech company that designs and develops e-commerce systems and mobile applications to help you make money, to help generate revenue online for people, companies, and organizations. Naomi and I are responsible for generating millions of dollars online of at-will donations, as well as business sales for clients. Particularly, we focused on faith-based organizations and now African-based companies. So Naomi, can you share a little bit about you and what you do and our background?
Yes. So just to give you a little bit of my background, growing up as a PK kid, if you don't know what that is, I basically grew up in the church, and my primary experience was working in non-for-profit organizations, but mainly in the church world. With technology, and I'm going to share my age a little bit, but with technology in the late 90s and early 2000s, I just saw how different tech companies were taking advantage of different churches of just putting basic wireless internet in the building. So basically I was constantly being tapped on my shoulder, working on the desk, doing inputs, doing bookkeeping and all that great stuff, but being tapped on my shoulder, like, we need you to manage this, we need you to do this. And really, starting with my undergrad work with marketing, I really started to study the whole digital space. Back then, they really didn't have too much of digital commerce workshops, but mainly it was computer programming. So I got certified in computer programming, web development, also went to school for Photoshop, Quark Express, if we'll find out the level, if some that is probably into technology understand when I say Quark Express and Illustrator, but that's mainly of where my background started, creating flyers, bulletins, doing some digital publishing. And later on, I just decided to go for my master's in internet technology, where it really had me to start to really understand how to really build digital infrastructures and systems and basically manage. So that's my background. Really started to see how paid advertisement can work, basically evangelizing, marketing, whatever people like to call it, but really seeing how to get products and services as #1 in the search engine, WE.
Yes, and I love to tell the story when we do our introductions that VGC was birthed out of me actually becoming Naomi's assistant. My journey to entrepreneurship was quite unorthodox. I had my eyes set on working at the United Nations or Department of State, or being posted in Ghana, West Africa, where my family is from, doing a lot of policy, economic development work. I'd gone to school on a full tuition scholarship at Seton Hall University, pursued English. and then earned another full scholarship to do a dual master's degree in diplomacy, international relations, and public administration. But upon graduating at the age of 24 as a newlywed and as a new mom of a 9-month-old, sadly, I could not find a job. And it hurt me as a young professional because I had done everything that my parents, my mentors, everyone had told me to do, but still found myself on the bottom of the totem pole. And being a millennial, I was already hands-on e-commerce, on using the internet. I was building websites and such. And so not having, having raised over $250,000 in scholarships to find myself on unemployment, was such a big dichotomy to me. And I just couldn't fathom that was my life's journey, So what I did at the time, I started to use technology to find different ways to freelance and to find work online. And at that time, Naomi, who my husband, whose father is our archbishop, and my husband was raised and born in the church, was looking for an assistant at the time. And so my husband kind of was like, see if you can support Naomi in the work that she's doing for ministries and faith-based organizations. And while it wasn't necessarily the track or the journey that I was pursuing, I knew that I was hands-on with technology. And so after a few months, Naomi was like, wait a minute, you know what you're doing? Like, let's actually put our force together and launch a business. And that's how the VGC group started. And so a lot of the work that we do and the commitment that I have personally is to use technology as a vehicle to help people really get their share of the global marketplace, to sell and to drive economic development. But I truly believe that the more sales that we can help people get online, the more jobs that are created, and the more economic wealth that can come into communities. And so that's a little bit background about us. As you can see, our journeys have been quite unorthodox, but at the same time, we have a lot of hands-on experiences that allows us to do the work that we do today. And we're bringing all of that good stuff to you in this presentation. So together, we've over the years have made a lot of global impact. We currently we sit on the District Export Council here in Michigan, which is an appointed position by the US Secretary of Commerce. You have to go through a vetting process at the White House to sit on that council to advise businesses on how to sell their products around the world. We've secured thousands of grants to travel to countries like Malawi, Ghana, Uganda, and a number of countries here not listed to teach the very things that we're going to be sharing in this presentation today. Some of the impact that we've made, for example, is working with a Ghanaian-based entrepreneur in Ghana. Upon meeting her, she was generating about $2,500 a month online. But after looking at her digital infrastructure, after analyzing, after seeing the potential in the marketplace, we were able to re-engineer her whole digital infrastructure to have her shipping directly from Accra, Ghana, and we increased her sale by 500%. In a year, we got her to $15,000 a month average sales. And in 1 month, we did a campaign, and in about 9 days, we were able to raise $36,000 for her in US currency as an African-based entrepreneur. And the kind of impact that has is it creates jobs and it brings wealth to communities that otherwise would not be possible had it not been technology. We've also made a lot of great impact for ministries. We were working with a particular ministry that was based in London, but his base was in Kenya, West Africa. And so we were able to look at different mobile technologies to integrate into his e-commerce website to raise donations through digital products. And we've done the same for a California-based business ministry that we're still working with today. And we've raised well over $500,000 in donations for him. And so this is something that we do, and we've done it from many different angles. And so a lot of the perspective we're bringing today is from these direct experiences. And what we've learned over the years is that it's so important to educate people on the technology that we're building for them so that they can have the kind of independence around their vehicles that they're driving, online. And so recently we launched VGC University, and a lot of the content that we're sharing today is what we share on VGC University. A lot of the support that we have also deals with directly helping you to implement the things that we are sharing. And so wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. But enough about us, Naomi. I think enough about us. Let's get to know our audience. Let's get to know who's on this workshop today. And let's launch this poll.
So WE, just want to let everyone know, we just launched a poll, and question number 1 is going to be, how long have you been using a digital system as part of your business structure? Okay. when we say digital system, we're talking about like, do you have a website? Are you using email marketing, mobile marketing? Let us know. We just want to know, what have you been using? If you're on social media and promoting, that is all part of that digital infrastructure. We want to know, what type of business do you have online? Product, service, both, or none? A lot of people don't believe that you can have services online, like you can sell your services online, and especially export your services. And I'm sure WE is going to be sharing that, and we'll get more deep in that, of how you can basically export your services, because that was something that we found out a few years back, that we can export our services. Or they're like, no, you are exporting services. We're like, oh my gosh, I thought you can only export products. So we want to know, what type of business do you have online? Then we want to know, do you have access to a web developer? Okay, this is just kind of letting us know of who we're working with. We have products and services that we provide support if you need web development or web designer. But basically, we want to know, because we're about to go into one of the pieces that you need to launch your digital infrastructure. So this is kind of letting us know what we have right now. Okay, do you have access to a web designer? Okay, and do you have access to a digital marketer? So WE, I'm not sure, are you able to see the responses? I believe we have 16 out of 18. We're waiting for about 2 more, but I can start to share the results. Do you see the results?
No, I don't. I think once you've launched it, I only see the.
Okay, I don't see the results. Okay, so I can share the results. So the first question was, how long have you been using a digital system as part of your business structure? So 25% says never. 25% says less than 2 years, and more than 2 years is 47%. Okay, so we have some people that has been using digital systems. So if you can kind of type in what type of digital systems you've been using, and I can just take a look at that. And then we also have what type of business do you have online? Okay, all right. So 24% says both. That is awesome. And we're going to, that is awesome, because we need you to have both product and services. That's awesome. Okay. And we're going to show you how you can probably create a product or create a service that can kind of go both ways. Okay. 41% has product base that we have with us, and 29% have service base. All right. Do you have access to a web developer? Now, web developer is anyone that gets inside of a coding. You know what is funny, WE, and people, is that when I first started doing web development, they all thought that I was a graphic designer or a web designer. I'm like, no, I do not design website. I go into code. A web developer and a web designer is two different thing. A designer is more of the look and the feel of your website, okay? And a developer is more into the functionality of your website, just to give you a little bit of context. So 47% says yes, and 53% says no. That is awesome. Do you have access to a web designer? Yes, 59% says yes, and 41% says no. And do you have access to a digital marketer? Okay, 41% says yes, and 59% says no. And that is good to know, because we're going to be turning all of you guys into digital marketers. All right, I'm going to close down the poll.
Okay, such great context, such great information. You know, we love to these polls because the thing about digital technology, e-commerce in this space is that we can go, you know, we can really chunk it up, or we can chunk it really deep. And we want to make sure that the context of the information we're sharing is relative to you. So now that we've asked you all these questions, we know that the question that you're probably asking is like, you know, how do I really get started? You know, I'm kind of dabbling in this and that. How do I really get started to see the kind of impact that I see and hear about regarding technology? And we love to answer that question first by conceptualizing technology, right? I think it can be an overwhelming topic, but if you can conceptualize it, then you can start to really use it for your benefit. And the best way we like to explain it is that technology is like a vehicle, right? It can take you to a destination that you desire. Now, depending upon that vehicle, the vehicle you choose, how, where, and when will determine how fast you get to that destination or even at all. Our job at the VGC Group is to help build the vehicle and put as many entrepreneurs like yourself in the driver's seat. You know, the type of digital infrastructure you build is similar to the car that you choose, right? Whether that's a bike, a moped, motorcycle, taxi, bus, van, truck, like it's gonna get you to your destination, but the experience may be different. And so Naomi and I, the VGC Group, we never look at technology or the vehicles that you use as a right or wrong. We look at it as, is it most fitting for the experience that you're looking to create for yourself, right? And so you're then probably asking, what kind of vehicles are for purchase? Naomi, are you ready to share what kind of vehicles are for purchase?
Most definitely. I'm ready to share the different types of vehicles that is for purchase. So the one of the vehicles that you can purchase, or one of the vehicles you should have, and I'm looking at some of the people that have private messaged me, that have a landing page, you're absolutely on the right start. You want to have a contact management system, also known as a CMS. Okay, so a CMS is a software that helps multiple users to create, manage, and modify content on a website without the need for specialized technical knowledge in a particular building website coding from scratch. So one of the ways how I really got started into working with technology was using a CMS system. So with a CMS system, you want to be able to have that flexibility. So I want to know right now, and I'm going to launch the next poll, what type of CMS do you use for your business? Okay. And if everyone can just put in the type of CMS system that you're using for your business, if it's Wix, if it's like a drag and drop, if it's WordPress, awesome, you have flexibility. If it's Kajabi, great. Squarespace, awesome. Thinkific, great, awesome. Shopify, and we're going to touch on each one of these different platforms. But we want to know, what CMS systems are you using? Okay. And you know what? We probably should have put none here just in case, but we'll give it about another minute so everyone can launch their answers for that. But WE, what can you say? Why is it important that we know the type of CMS systems that people are using for their business?
No, absolutely, right? Like, just like we gave the analogy of a vehicle, technology being a vehicle, you know, when you have particular goals for your business, if you're product-based, service-based, there are more preferable vehicles to use, right? Like when I got to Michigan in this snow, I got really clear that my little small Mercedes wasn't gonna work. Okay, I had to get rid of that with this. Every season I go through like 8 tires, the potholes, the snow. I was like, it was good when I was in New York and I needed a small car for the tight spaces driving around the city. But when I moved to the Midwest, I got clear here in Michigan that you need a truck. So I opted my small little car in for a truck. Now they're both vehicles, they'll get me to a destination, but the experience of the truck here in Michigan with the snow is so much better than when I was driving my small little C-Class, you know, Benz, Naomi. And so it's similar to the CMS vehicle, right? All these are great platforms. There's pros and cons, benefits to all, but there may be a more preferable CMS system for your business, depending upon the goals that you have for that.
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right. And also your CMS system, you want to make sure, we always tell people this, okay, at VGC, make sure you're transacting on your CMS system. You know, just don't have a page and there's nothing that your end users or people that are looking for, but we want to make sure that you are able to transact. So I'm going to end this poll, okay, and it looks like only 13 out of 19 people put in their answer, and I'm going to share the results, and WE, let me know if you see the results, because this is surprising.
I don't see the results.
You
So
don't see it? I'm
have-
sharing the results. Can anyone else see the results?
no, I don't see.
Oh
I can
man,
see them.
you can see it. Okay, thank you, Miss Anita.
The
Thank you.
host-
I can
co-host
see them too.
Awesome.
They're on the screen.
Okay, awesome. So WE, I will share with you the results. This is why we're business partners. What I don't see, you see, vice versa.
You
Okay.
know how it works. That's how it works.
So, okay, so with the CMS, okay, 62% uses WordPress,
Oh, great.
which I'm super happy about that, because we're going to talk a little bit about WordPress. Then we also have 15% uses Wix, and another 15% uses Shopify. Okay, so we have some we have some movers and shakers here that is already transacting, because if they have Shopify, you know, they're getting the money.
They're getting that global money, honey, like, because Shopify, that platform ain't cheap either. So they're clearly getting that global money, Naomi. I love it. And it makes sense, because I think there was a high percentage of individuals participating who have developers, if I remember that statistic clearly. So it makes sense if they're using WordPress, because they have someone on this, you know, to support with that.
Yes.
So awesome. Let's get right into it, Nate. Share all about these vehicles.
Yes. So let's talk about, and I just want to change my view on my screen so I can see everything. Okay, so we talked a little bit about WordPress. So for those that are not using WordPress, you can use WordPress, and WordPress is absolutely for free, okay? A great way for you to get started with WordPress, you can just set up a WordPress.com, and basically WordPress is really started out as a blog system. I remember back in 2002, 2003, when I was like dabbing into the whole thing online, WordPress was just so easy to really manipulate code. Now what WordPress, which makes it so easy to navigate, is that it has different types of plugins that you're able to upload, activate it, and basically be able to have those plugins to work within your system. You're able to also choose the different templates. There's free templates. There's also paid templates. Now, if you ask me and say, do you like free template or paid templates? I'm still up in the air. I like customized templates, but there's pros and cons when you're using a customized template with that, because you have to make sure that it's constantly being upgraded, okay? And that the maintenance is being done on that. WordPress is great if you're using WooCommerce or WordPress Cart. So this is mainly good for where you go to your hosting, you install WordPress, and you can just start adding content on there, and the content can be already structured in there. Another platform, and I didn't see anyone that chose Kajabi, but we want to open your experience to Kajabi, because Kajabi is a complete online business platform for serious entrepreneurs and experts and influencers to build and market and sell your online courses and memberships and digital products. So those that have products, I mean, if you are an expert and have been doing this work for years, even 5 years, you can create an e-course out of it or an ebook. All of this is great content that you can put on there, and it's great because you can have that end user to be able to engage with your content. Also with Kajabi, you can set up your payment process with it. You can also set up your email channels. Kajabi is a very easy platform to use. You can also have your landing page that is basically connect. WE, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, you know, as you were speaking about Kajabi really is a platform, unlike WordPress. You don't necessarily need a developer for Kajabi, and that's that's really the benefit of Kajabi, is that everything is inclusive. And that's what you're going to start to find now with technology. All these companies that are coming out, they're trying to find seamless ways for you to have your email, for you to have your marketing, for you to have your web, all in one platform, so that you don't have to connect so many different technologies. We call it tech stacking. You don't have to tech stack all these different technologies. You can put it all in one. And so if you're not, if you're a non-tech entrepreneur, but you still want to, rise in the tech space, Kajabi is a great platform for it. So
yeah. Also, with Kajabi and with WordPress, with all of the platforms, you want to make sure that your platform has the ability to really create that social community, have the ability where people can really be able to stay on your platform and be able to engage on your platform. If it's just them reading the blog, going to your e-course, downloading an ebook, filling out questions and answers, is all that technology that you want to have on there that is really helping you to engage with your end users and creating that customer journey. And if there's something that WE or myself were saying that you're not clear about, you can just text us and say, hey, I'm not clear about that. I need to know more. And we have a question and answers at the end where we can, you can ask as many questions and we will like break it down, okay? The next platform we have is Thinkific, okay? Thinkific is a technology company with a platform that allows people and businesses to create online courses. This is another online course platform, okay? One thing that I like about Thinkific, it has a great support platform that you're able to support your users, you're able to track your money, you're able to send out emails and connect it to email funnels. You can launch different types of community questions. It is a great platform where you can launch courses. And really, when you're looking at these different platforms that we're telling you about, we really want you to see what works for your business, for your digital infrastructure. We just don't want to tell you and then you sign up for all of this, because we had a couple of people that have done that and said, I have all these free trials, which platform do I go with? And I'm like, okay, let's go with the best platform that serves your needs and easy for you to grow with and really get the use out of it. Then we have Shopify, which I was so happy to see. We have some people that are using Shopify. Shopify is great. Shopify, like WE said, we know that those prices can go up over time. You need this, they're upselling, but it's a great system that you're able to utilize the functionality of what it had for you. So what's the difference with the benefits and there's challenges, okay? So the benefit of you having your CMS system is that you're able to customize your content, okay? It's also saves you money. You don't have to pay all this money to developers, okay? The coding is right there. It's great for those that love technology, and you can just kind of go in there and start pulling up and doing things. One of our motto here at VGC is this: it's not perfection, but it's progress over perfection. If I told you how many times that I tried to perfect a digital marketing campaign, perfect a website, and took forever to launch, it was dated by that time. So you want to be able to go with the progress and keep building on your technology. The benefit of having one of those CMS systems is this: you do not need to learn or write code unless you're just curious like I was, and you just kind of get a couple of code language on there, which is very easy. I am going to say that, but I'm just saying that's one of the benefits. Many CMS options is to choose from. So there's so many CMS. There's Wix, Square. Wix and Square, if you're starting out with wanting a website, it's a drag and drop, okay? Drag and drop, easy to connect. If you want to connect MailChimp to it or Aweber to it, it's very easy for you to get connected and start to transact on there. faster development time, okay? You have variety of customizable templates. So one of the things we're going to talk about later on is that you have to know what your competition and what your competitors are doing out there. So you want to see if your CMS system, if your website is actually matching to your experience of what you're offering to your customers. Here's are some of your challenges. Larger security risk, okay? That is a challenge. Sometimes the security, depending on if it is a WordPress, it's an open source platform, you have to make sure that you are, your website is secure, okay? Updated and maintained. You have to, and I think someone messaged in here and said, they're guilty of not going into their WordPress website. That you have to go into your WordPress website, especially simply because plugins go outdated and you can have security risk. Whereas with Shopify and with Wix or Square or Kajabi or Thinkific, with those different types of platforms, because you're paying a maintenance fee, a monthly fee for it, is already usually taken care of with them, where they're doing the maintenance. Getting used to a new system. Yes, listen, I'm starting to see it takes a while for me to get used to a new system because I'm so used to like other systems. So that can be a challenge. You have to use more server resources than a static page. Yes. So if you're using a basic HTML page, you are going to take up more resources, more memory spaces, file sizes are bigger. Okay. Website building tools, okay, are still somewhat limited. So like we said, it's progress, okay? You may see something, but the great thing about it is that when you're building and using the different CMS systems, the great thing about it is that you're able to build and see what you want so you can take it to a developer, okay? Cannot support or extremely specific features. You may find that, but like I said, it lets you know what you're working with and what you need to tell your developer. So the purpose of a content management system, unlike static sites, CMSs are dynamic. They are known as e-commerce websites designed to help you transact in different varieties of ways. They help you to engage and convert visitors to generate revenue online. So this is why you want to make sure you have your CMS. I would say that is one of the basic foundations that you need to have. So I'm going to submit the next polling question. And after of what we just discussed, okay, after the content management system presentation, we want to know what platform do you think that will work best for your business, okay? Want to know what platform, because you know, you may say, okay, I was working with a WordPress and I'm starting to see that I may need to add an e-course platform. And there's so many different types of other platforms, more platforms than what we have named here. So we want to know, what would you consider to start building your platform on? If it's Shopify, if it's WordPress, Kajabi, Thinkific, Wix. Wix is just a drag and drop. It's perfect. It's perfectly fine if you're getting started on. Matter of fact, we tell people, get started with that, you know, because it lets you know what works for you. Okay.
You know, Naomi, as you're talking, I'm thinking of that funny story when we were in Uganda, and there was this sweet man who had an amazing leather shoe company, and I can't wait to help him start exporting his shoe products. And so we were teaching on Wix, and the way we like to teach, we like to get people hands-on right there. So all the participants had their computers, and we were building Wix websites. Many of them had never, you know, had an online website before. So this young man started building his Wix website. And so we were all excited. He's making progress, you know. Then, you know, the next day we start talking about WordPress. And WordPress is a little bit more complicated, the way you kind of download it and all that great stuff. And the young man gets up and he's like, okay, wait, I want to go to WordPress. We was like, whoa. We was like, nah, homie, you need to stay on Wix because you are really a beginner. We're like, stay on Wix. We're like, why? Don't do that to yourself. Wix is fine. You can start with Wix. You can sell on Wix. But remember, he got up and he was so excited. I want to know WordPress. And we were like, it's a little too complicated. You're going to need a developer, you know, all the plugins and all the tech stuff. Just do Wix, drag and drop. And his whole site was launched with Wix. And then he got so excited about the content.
It was really, it was looking really good. And you know, and I'm like, now you're able to manage it. He was like, I'm ready to go to WordPress.
We're like, no, you're not. We're like, no, you're not. Stay right there with Wix. Let's make some sales, and then we'll transfer you over. So it's okay to start. Listen, so long as you're getting that global money, that's all that matters, right? Like, and all these platforms help you to transact. So, yeah, it reminds me of the young man in Uganda. All right, Nate, what are the results? What are we looking at?
Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. Everyone didn't answer, but it's fine. I'm going to end it. And right now, it looks like WordPress it is. And so, I believe Marie Fowler didn't ask and say, what is a plugin on WordPress? That is a good question. So a plugin that is on WordPress is basically, it is a piece of software code that you can basically go to your plugin section and search. So whatever you need that software to do, say you need a software on WE, give me something that a software that someone may be thinking that they may need on their platform, like a.
Oh yeah, I mean, we love, like I said, we love that global money. So you want to have a currency converter, you know, don't make it hard for people to know how much the price of your product is. So a plugin, you can download a currency converter on WordPress to install in your website, or even something simple as Google Translate, that's free. That way, you know, if you parler en français, I do a little French. I'm still working on it, Naomi, don't make fun of me. I'm still working on my français. So, you know, if you want to have French or Spanish on your website, if you're doing business in different markets, you know, something simple as a Google Translate is a plugin you can download on WordPress to install on your website.
Currency converters. I mean, you can even, another piece of plugin, which you probably don't realize, or some people don't realize it is a plugin, is like PayPal has their own plugin, you know, like the different merchant accounts. So those are different types of plugins that you want to be able to, you have it, and all you have to do is just put in your information and the software starts to work for you.
Yeah, good question. Good question. Because, you know, there are a lot of terminologies in the tech space that if you're not aware, you know, you may be using them unknowingly. And so it's a great question. All right, Naomi, now, you know, now that we've talked about the different type of vehicles, the different type of platforms that you can drive, you know, it's important that we discuss how to put fuel in your vehicle, right? Like, how do I put fuel in my vehicle? I got the vehicle, it looks great, but I got to drive it and it needs some fuel. So let's get ready to talk about revenue generating community structures and platform strategies, all right? Because there's many strategies and ways for you to generate revenue on your website. And so some of the strategies that we want to talk about are some of the more common ones, but this is just to list a few. There's affiliate marketing, ambassador programs, most recently really called like influencerships, referrals, and white labels. Many of you are probably using them on, you know, unaware, or you've probably heard of them, but not sure how you can make it, you know, relative to your business. And so hopefully this session is going to help you to generate more revenue and really fuel the vehicle that you've now chosen to use to make this money. So how does affiliate marketing work? The biggest thing to understand with affiliate marketing, that it's definitely connected to your website. It's essentially putting an ad on your website that customers will click. And once you get a conversion, the conversions are tracked. That affiliate who is supporting the promotion of this ad on your website or to your website gets a reward, right? That's affiliate marketing. And so, you know, top companies have affiliate marketing strategies in operation. Sometimes people could be, you know, directing you to a platform or to a website or product. You're not aware that they're going to get a bonus or reward once you purchase, and that's part of affiliate marketing. You know, it's a timeless strategy. It's been around for decades. It's something that I don't think I see it going anywhere. I do see it morphing and taking different shapes, but the impact of affiliate marketing is extremely strong because it does not involve too much time or resources. And the idea is about focusing in on a specific audience, right? Targeting a particular region or country and making sure that you get results, because you only get paid on results. You get paid on results. So some of the resources to support you, this is something that you're looking to do or to leverage. And Naomi and I do plan on sharing a downloadable resource document with all the links, all the places that we're discussing so that it's easier for you to use. But specifically for affiliate marketing, we encourage you to check out clickbank.com or jvzoo.com to help you determine what price structure will be best for your program. It's so important that you structure it correctly because the point of affiliate marketing is for you to also benefit, not just the person doing the affiliate marketing, right? Not just the person that's getting the reward for sending people to click on that ad. You're supposed to make money off of this too. And so those two websites will help you to kind of structure it based on your product or service model. And then to find out how people are using your site and to get customer feedback, to see where on your website, what images or banners or pages that are most attractive on your website, you can go to koalaroo.com or crazyegg.com to get that kind of feedback. It's really necessary because placement of the ad and how it's designed is very important for the effectiveness of the conversion. And so you want to check out those websites. And then a general recommendation is to do a pay on a net 30 basis, right? Because you want to make sure you give yourself enough time to handle any potential refunds, chargebacks, should someone get a product and return it. Because again, affiliates should only get paid on the results that you're getting as a business owner. And now, ambassador and influence marketing. This is the one that's kind of been the hot marketing strategy of late, especially with the rise of social media like TikTok and Instagram. A brand ambassador program is a type of marketing campaign where you partner with an influencer to promote your company. So say you can build your brand in different ways. Naomi and I, we didn't build a personality-based business tech company, meaning that our marketing and the front end of our business marketing, you don't see Naomi and I as much. We were marketing it as more of a corporate infrastructure. There are many people building businesses where they're leading with their brand, they're leading with their personality, they're leading with themselves. And so if you're not that kind of person, if you're like, I have a good product, but I don't care to be on video every day, I don't care to get dressed, I don't care to do live streams, then influence marketing may be of interest to you, because really what it does is it helps you to get the visibility you need to attract the customers and to acquire the customers and generate the revenue, but doesn't require you to be at the forefront because you're using someone else to be kind of represent the face of the brand. And it helps to promote positive reputation and build credibility. I mean, Naomi, what would you say about influence marketing right now? Because it's really disrupted the ad industry in a way. And I know it's going to be for a window of time, but it's disrupting the way people typically do, ads.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, now you look at Facebook, primarily Facebook and Instagram, you have these influencer brands that is basically will pick up a bottle of water or they'll show a salad and they'll have the brand that they're mainly mentioning, or if it's a particular hair product, whatever it is, they're basically mentioning it and people pay money for that. There is, if you want, you can do some more research on it, but you have companies like Facebook and Google Ads, that are getting a little bit upset because they are disrupting the technology, because now they're giving these influencers, $500 to mention their products when they're going live, because they have over, 3,000 or 5,000 people that is watching them live. And if they're mentioning your bottle and saying, or mentioning your products or your services, saying, now go to www.such and such and purchase this now or sign up for a free consultation, it can really pay off big time. So brand influencers, they're great technology, a great marketing tool that you can use with your brand as well.
Yeah, many, many benefits. I mean, they naturally increase your social media presence because they become a source of content. If content development is not something that you're strong in, you look to influencers to not only engage your ideal customer base, but they develop the content. Now, the way you structure the partnerships are different. You know, sometimes people send products, but now with influencership, influencers are not just looking for free products anymore. They're really looking for cash flow. It's part of the gig economy now. And so some things that we do, although we do like to recommend influencerships and ambassador programs, we do encourage you that if you're going to look on social media to find someone who has an audience that you're looking to tap into, you know, really good ways to identify if they can actually make the impact that you're looking for. They always say to look at the last 10 posts of the influencer, and you can like divide the amount of post engagement to their followers and get the percentage of engagement, because oftentimes, you know, unfortunately, perception oftentimes is reality. And you can look at someone's page, see they have 100,000 followers, but if those followers do not convert, if you don't see engagement on the way on their pages, if you see 10 likes, 20 likes to 100,000 followers, the ratio just doesn't make sense. And so you want to be mindful of that and not just toss your money in you know, with influencerships if they can't convert for you. I've even listening to a lot of the panels, and a lot of my friends are influencers. You know, there's different levels of influencership. You can find someone who has a strong following of 5,000 people and they're getting 1,000 likes on all their photos. You know, that conversion is a lot stronger for you than someone who has 1 million followers and 100 likes. And so it's not always numbers, it's more of conversion and impact that you want to look for. But there are many different websites that can support you in maybe searching and finding influencers. There's a number that we want to give you, but I know one of them is creatoriq.com. And in our resource download, we hope to share some more if that's something that you want to use as a marketing strategy. Again, the way you structure the contracts, long-term, short-term, are dependent upon you. But what I found in the marketplace is that oftentimes when your audience is anchored in a particular person who's using a product and they can show the longevity of them using the product, then we know that they really love the product. It's not something that they're just doing for money. And it's a lot more it's a lot more convincing because we do know now, everybody knows now that people are becoming influencers and they'll just promote something just to make money and not really love the product. So it's important to find that balance between influence marketing. But overall, it's a great strategy if you're not you don't want to be in the face of media all the time and so forth with that. Now, there's also referral programs, right? Naomi and I always share that the way we built our business, listen, we were young mothers just looking to build business, to take care of our family. We were not into the whole in social media lives, and we're more open to it, but we built our business on referral programs. You know, once you serve someone, you do it with integrity and honesty, and you make an impact, people are going to refer you. And we're in the business of making people money. So, I mean, listen, of course you're going to want us on your team. And so we always say our service pays for itself because we always generate the revenue that it will cost you to have us and more. And that's just our business model. So the referral program has always been super helpful, and it's free marketing. People are going to want to share about who you are and your impact. And it's been super effective for us over the last few years. So we've been using this more so than social media. And it's effective because they say research shows 9 out of 10 customers trust peer recommendations, right? And so referral programs are super helpful. And then of course, you also want to reward referral programs. So like, for example, our support membership program on our site, we do have a referral program where we give discounts both to the referrer and the referee. So everyone wins here because we just want to show our appreciation. And it's good because it takes care of your current customers and also, happily welcomes in new customers. And so things that you want to consider if you have not already, as a way to fuel your vehicle, fuel your engine. And many different companies do it. I'm sure you're probably enrolled or involved in companies. Kudo Mobile does it. There's different structures, different price breakdowns. But what I love most is about T-Mobile, their stock rewards, because rewards can come in different ways. You get a share of an uncarrier stock for T-Mobile. I mean, what are your thoughts? This is super creative, right? Because sometimes people want the longevity in their relationship with you. And so with the share, you get a share for X amount of money and it goes up over a few years. You can make long lasting money. Nia, what would you say to the T-Mobile stock rewards program?
So So I like that idea. It basically is just one is giving them stocks, and the goal for them is for them to purchase more stocks. At least to purchase more shares of that stock. So it's great. I like what Robinhood. Well, I didn't care what they did the last couple of weeks, but I like what Robinhood had for their referral programs, and Webble. You refer someone, they actually give you low end stocks, but it gives you that opportunity to really build up the different shares, as well as for you to share with other people. I also want to share with with these different reward programs and those that have websites. There are affiliate links or affiliate softwares that it's easy for you to use to get other people to promote your brand and promote your business alongside with that as well, WE.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Really innovative and creative. And so there's so many different ways to fuel your engine, so many different ways for you to find ways to, get your vehicle moving to the destination that you desire. If we're talking about this whole concept of technology as a vehicle. Another way we like to talk about that you may not be aware, you may be an entrepreneur who's really good at marketing, who's really good, has a really great name, but maybe your challenge is, the bootstrapping, the production process of your product or your service. White labeling may be of interest to you. White labeling is when a product or service removes their brand or logo from the end product and instead uses the branding of the person who purchased it, right? So for example, you can go into the store at Walmart and you'll notice all sorts of products that are sold under Great Value brand. There are many people who have candle companies that are not really producing or creating the candles themselves. They're white labeling another candle production company, and they're just putting their brand on it because, a lot of building business is people connecting to your brand, connecting to your messaging, connecting to your story, and not necessarily you having to be the creator of that product. And so there's so many benefits to white labeling, saving you time. It's risk-free. You can increase your visibility quickly. You can go from, start to launch really quickly if the product or service is already, the platform is already created for you. Loyalty with clients, every time a client uses your product, it sees your name on it. So really that strategy is all about finding a good person or a good company that you can buy your products or service from to white label it with your brand. And so your brand just continues to be refined and you really don't have to go through the growing pains, bootstrapping a product or bootstrapping the development process of launching a business. Now, I know we talked about many different ways to fuel your engine, to fuel your vehicle. And, Miss Pat Haynes brought up a really good question. She said that some websites have too many ads and it makes it difficult to see them when you log into them right away. And so what are some pointers to avoid having the clutter on your site? That is really important. And a lot of it is part of the digital marketing strategy. And we'll kind of go into that. But you want to be mindful about the user experience. And we'll talk about that, I believe, in one of the later sessions. Your website, all of it is a communication. And so you want to be mindful that you're not putting ads haphazardly on your website. Anytime you develop your website or you develop something they're presenting, you have to think about it from the end user. And so we do often say limit the amount of ads. And then of course, some of the sites that we shared, use some of the sites to get the feedback, customer feedback, so that you know where people are clicking the most, you know what I mean? And so if you can have that analytical data, you'll know where to place an ad for it to be effective so that you're not placing it everywhere, right? You always have to do like A and B testing, but it's true. That question really goes to developing a proper user experience for your product or service. Naomi, what would you say to that question?
You're absolutely right. It's all about how you want that customer journey to have. We like to, a lot of times when we're launching different products and brand, we create a micro site that is an extension of the brand where it's focused only on that particular product or service, and all the content and information that is there is only for that only for that, because one, we're looking at the search engine is looking as this, is your website relevant in the search engine? So you want to make sure that it is particularly focused to that. You want to have that one call to action. And one of the first thing of the call to action it is that we always tell people, clients that works with us, is have that free offering, have something to bait them in to get their information and see if they're able to commit to their journey. If they're able to commit to your journey, then they're able to start to really purchase your products and services.
Yeah, and when you get really good, because there's so much data, there's so much technologies on the websites now, there's ways to do your journey where um, people don't even see the ads that are sponsored publicly. They'll only see it in the back end because they've touched somewhere on your site or they filled out a form. So people don't feel bombarded from the front end of all these ads, but you start to communicate them through ads on the back end of your strategy because they've touched something that's triggered the automation in the back end. And so a lot of it is just thinking through the process, but you're absolutely right. For someone who may not be aware, you don't want to put too many ads. And as Naomi said, just focus on what you can over deliver on for free so that you can anchor them into an experience of you so that they can believe that, this may be the place to get this service or product that I'm looking for. It's all about anchoring people into that first experience. And once you do, then you can upsell them later with other opportunities, and so we look at it as like, we don't really see too much as upselling. We're like, we just want to continue to service you, and share how we can support you on your journey. So I hope I answered your question, Ms. Haynes. Let us know if it didn't, and we can definitely touch on it again. Naomi, it looks like it's poll time.
Well, I'm going to say we can launch that poll right after the digital marketing strategy piece with that poll question. But also Maria Fowler direct message and say, I'm confused. Why are likes important? So why are likes important? I know like you love social media.
You say that.
I'm over it a little bit. I'm a little over it. I use it with marketing and branding pieces, but you put the family up there. You got your DeCruz burgers.
No, I love communication. I love anything that allows to story tell and to communicate. I do not engage in social media the way that I think there's a lot of other people, like avid social media users. I like to be very intentional with the way I use it. Now, likes are important because whether you agree or not, perception oftentimes is reality, right? Perception is reality. And so what the likes do for you is likes creates the perception that this may be of interest to me as a potential customer, right? And so that's why likes are important. But likes may get someone, to open the door, but it may not get you through the door. And that's why that even if you have likes, your product still has to be really good. And it's unfortunate that perception sometimes is reality on social media because there's a lot of fluff on social media. There's a lot of fluff on social media, and it's nothing that we know we can really all do about it because it's just the game that people are playing. And so people are faking it till they make it. But what we're finding now that with platforms like Clubhouse, if you're not aware of Clubhouse, it's more of like an interactive podcast platform that takes away the video streaming, takes away the messaging and photos, and it focuses on people speaking substantively about the topic. And so now people are being, rated based on the quality of content. So there are platforms now that, it's not about likes, it's not even about how many people are in rooms. It's really about the information you're delivering on the onset of people meeting you and seeing if you're someone they want to engage with. But likes are important because maybe it may open the door for you, but it doesn't always get people through the door. And if it gets them through the door and they realize they don't like your product or service, you'll lose a customer. But it's just the game. It's just the game that, it's just a social media game right now with social media. I mean, if you can get likes, great. But there's so many other strategies that you don't have to, if social media is not your strategy, then likes may not be of importance to you. It just depends on how you want to fuel your engine to your vehicle. Naomi, that's what I would say about likes.
Yeah, I will also say that with likes, it's it depends on your digital strategy for your infrastructure. We work with businesses that have huge social media follower. Matter of fact, one of our clients is a huge social media brand influencer. Likes are important, you know, who he follows, what he follows, and what he's liking on, because you're able to see that data. And then we have companies and clients that has no social media presence, that doesn't even need to use social media, but they're just there just to say, hey, I'm here, just in case you're looking for me. That's like, so if you go on my social media, it's just saying, hey, I'm here. Whereas WE's social media is like, hey, I'm here, look what I'm doing.
You know, that's a really good point, because, you know, and just to encourage you, because we've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs and people who've been in the game. We know this now, but there are people who have a lot of likes that are making no money. That's the internal conversation with tech entrepreneurs. Like, we know who's really generating online and those who are really not, because there's just certain postures and way of being that you have when you're actually generating revenue and when you're not. And so, although perception is reality, you know, people who are well-versed, who really understand how to really build business, we know. And so sometimes, like I said, it may open the door for you and get you through. And there's a lot of people, Naomi, who had really, so it's opposite. You have no following really, but you're still making money. And then there's people who have following and are making no money. They don't know how to monetize, you know, their community. And so all of it is important. So yeah, likes are important, but I mean, it shouldn't stop you from, you know, building your business if you feel like you don't have, you know, if you don't have likes. So I hope that answered the question.
And back in the day, we were big in growth hacking on social media.
Oh yeah, you got some money, you could buy yourself some likes and make your page look really good.
Like there's growth hacking strategies that you can make your social media presence look very legit. But WE and I, we know how to look at a social media presence and be like, certain things are not adding up with it. So this is all, like, we're talking about perception. You have to just know which type of strategy you want to go with.
Yeah, I mean, the Ghanaian-based entrepreneur, we actually approached her, you know, being from Ghana, I know the power of shea butter, and she had hundreds of thousands of followers on her social media. But we took a look at her website, and we have an eye for tech. We have an eye for online. We have an eye for making money through technology. And I took a look at her website, and I was like, I told Naomi, I'm like, Nay, you know, I don't think she's making money. You know, it looks like it's a great brand, but I don't think she's making money. And it just happened to be going to Ghana that year. And I told Naomi, I was like, Naomi, I really want to approach her and see if she'll take us on, but I think we can grow her revenue, you know, if we do some things. And long and behold, her whole digital infrastructure was almost non-existent. You know, it wasn't properly situated, and tweaking it, understanding what we know now, we were able to grow her brand and her business. And so we build people who have great following online, but they don't know how to monetize their community. So all these elements we're talking about today are super important to make sure that your vehicle is fueled and that it's driving. So Nay, I know you want to do this poll question after now. So what we'll do is we'll go into this next question.
How do I maintain the vehicle? So it is just like a car, you know, where you got to do the tire rotation, oil change your bearings, all that stuff. You need to be able to maintain. So one of the ways you want to be able to maintain is having a digital marketing strategy, your plan. And we talked a little bit about it during when we talked about likes. You know, what type of plan do you want? And you want to mainly focus on those online marketing channels, if it's paid, if it's earned, or if it's owned media, okay? And here are some platforms that you can use to help you manage that, such as SEMrush, SEO Moz, and Google AdWords. So there's about 6 different digital marketing strategies that you want to use. Is one, an engaging website, which we told you that is the foundation that you need. You need to have your website. And like Ms. Pat asks about all of this confusing stuff, have that one thing that you want them to do on your engaging website. 2, SEO, okay, search engine optimization is going to be very key, because you want to be able to drive traffic to your website. So you're going to need to have those keywords in place, strategic keywords in place, okay? And it works great if you're on Google, if you're on Bing, if you're on the Yahoo directory, any of those search engine, your website is being displayed. You want to make sure your website is optimized, okay? Content marketing, okay? Content marketing. If you want to be creative with your content, you want to be able to generate awareness, grow your traffic, lead generate, and target your existing customers. We talked about the blogs. That is great to have on your website, your products on there, okay? All of that needs to have content around it. If you're talking about face masks during COVID, it needs to be big. You need to explain why, and you need to have data. So you have the content kind of mirroring of what people are searching for. Email marketing, okay? Some people say email marketing is antiquated, but it's really not. It is one of the number one use that people still use is email marketing, okay? Why? Because email is free, okay? Email is free. Everyone has an email, and if they don't, you can just say, go and sign up and get yourself a free email on Google or Yahoo or Hotmail, okay? Don't use Hotmail, but you can use Google, which is the best. Okay. And then when you're using email, I like to tell people is this: really engage your users and tell them, check your email, click on my email, scroll down. That's why in certain emails, you see people put the offers at the bottom. Is a strategy to get people to scroll, to show these email clients platforms like Google and like Bing and like Hotmail, and y'all, that your email is valuable and that people want your content. Social media marketing, okay, great way to promote your brand. We talked about it with the likes and different reasons why. Social media marketing, you want to have a bit of it. Like I said, you could just have your presence on there, but you may find that you do great just doing paid advertisement and email marketing, and you don't need social media, but it's just there just to have an awareness presence there. Pay per click, okay, PPC, okay, that's what pay per click stands for, is PPC. You want to be able to have a pay-per-click program, a marketing strategy within your business where you're either using Google ads, Bing ads. I mean, you can use Twitter promote, LinkedIn for those that are in services. You want to have some type of pay-per-click program in your marketing plan. So how do you get started? Here is the groundwork. One, you want to identify the revenue and the goals for your year, for the year. So every year with our business, we say, okay, we made this. Now, what is our goal and what is that revenue that we want to make? You want to be able to identify that. You also want to identify the percentage of revenue that will come in from your existing customers versus your new customers. Now, this is very important because your new customers, you have to get them to start to evangelize for you. You have to get them to become that existing customer, that reoccurring customer. So you want to have that percent and that revenue and find out what is that level point that they have to hit in your journey. Identify the percentage of leads that you're marketing from with that source. So you want to know, is it social media? Is it email? Know the different platforms, okay? Determine how many leads you will need to reach your goals. Very important. There's platforms we work on, and we can say, okay, for us to reach our goal, we need 10 customers coming in this particular entry point. So you need to know how to know your math and know how you're calculating that. You also want to review your target marketing and your personas. Okay, so you need to know right now, our huge target marketing piece was with churches, okay, evangelizing, teaching churches how to evangelize online. Okay, we knew our target market, we know the sweet spot, how big that church has to be, what their the amount of donations that come in, if for us to make their system work. You need to be able to discuss your marketing budget. Definitely have your marketing budget set aside.
Naomi, I wanted to add two things to that as you were speaking. And I know we'll talk about this in later sessions, but as you're developing, the percentage of revenue that you want with this new lead source, oftentimes what we have found is that you have to make sure that you've built a product or service offering that is scalable, meaning that you don't have to always exchange your time for money. This is why we really encourage digital products, because you don't have to exchange your time for money. It's something that when you bring in the leads, they can opt into it, they purchase it, and they're good to go. And Naomi, I know we're sharing about digital marketing strategy, but I actually want to break it down to them and what that looks like for some of the churches, right? So some of the churches that we work with, you may ask us like, how are we raising donations for churches online? And people look at us, they're like, okay, no one was thinking about that, but we're like, yes, the girls at VGC were, right? And Naomi's been doing it for years. I mean, one of our databases has over 1 million leads, right? So we know what it means to attract leads. So what does it look like to develop a scalable product as a digital marketing strategy? So let's say if we're working with a pastor and they have a really good sermon on that Sunday, right? If we want to think about developing a scalable offer, what we will do at the VGC group with our marketing innovation is we'll look at that sermon and we'll say, you know what, this will be a really good ebook. So we'll transcribe the sermon and reformat the content into a downloadable ebook that somebody, whether it's from the ministry or someone abroad, will donate 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 to get that sermon, and if we want to add more value to that experience, we'll not only do a downloadable ebook, we'll turn that sermon into an audio clip, and we've turned sermons into e-courses. And so I just kind of want to give you an example of what we mean by like making scalable products, so that when you're lead generating, you can convert and turn around faster, so that that pastor or minister, he did the sermon once, but we've made the sermon scalable so that, people can opt into that message 1,000,001 times. And that's why we've been able to scale ministry donations online over the years by hundreds and thousands of millions of donations, so that they can continue to do the work to evangelize the gospel and the work that they're doing in their ministry.
Yes. And thank you, Maria Fowler, that is direct messaging me and asking, telling me statements and questions. She's like, I've seen ads switch from email to text marketing. And one of the things is that you're absolutely right. But we like to tell people to use both platforms, your mobile and your email, because you have to know your target audience and where your targeted audience is at. You have a huge Gen X audience base that is mainly using email. There some is on social media and some is on mobile, and then you have your millennials that are like primarily, and I know the data have changed, is using the mobile piece. So you still want to be able to know where your target audience and how they are able to engage with you. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so you want to be able to ask the right questions, okay, when you're developing your digital strategy. What has worked and what hasn't worked in the past, okay? I'm just thinking of, someone saying, well, you know what? I always wanted to try this. This didn't work, but I want to try it online. And we're like, okay, why is that? So know what worked and kind of stick with it, and then kind of introduce. Okay. What were your key accomplishments last year? You have to know those key accomplishments so you can duplicate. Okay. In your duplication, there's power in duplication. Okay. What are the goals for the next year? And then what is your goals for the next 5 years? Who are the key competitors and how do you stack up? Know your competition out there. Even if you're just starting out, know your competition. If your competition is up here, just know where you have to go to and where you're going to have to stride to, and keep building to that, okay? Because we have seen competition comes out and still marketing under that person's name, and we're like, but why? So you have to know who's your competitors that are out there, because you're their competitors as well. And most of the time they're marketing under your name and taking your customers. What are your target audience and challenges and pain point? Pain point is huge. Okay, if someone is thirsty, you don't want to sit there and give them a stick. You want to give them a water. You want to make sure you have that pain point and you have that solution already for them. That's why we were talking about a little bit about the microsite, and one of the questions was that websites are confusing. You have to have that strategic, you have to have that pain point, and you have to have, this is why you're here, and this is why you need my products, and this is why you need my services. So one of the systems we talked about was SEMrush, which is one of the leading digital strategy tool. We are part of their platform and we use their platform. We have a video. Because of time, we're not going to play the video, but in the presentation, you are going to get a copy of this presentation. You can be able to click on the link and review the video and all of the great things that a platform, SEMrush, have for you. So here's some of the services that you have right there. SEO, you got to know your keywords. Start building your keyword planner and use long tail keywords. And we'll probably show that in the next session of what is a keyword and what is a long tail keyword. Your pay per click, you can start connecting your Google AdWords and your Bing ads to SEMrush, and you can see how are you actually converting, and you can also see how are those keywords matching up organically as well as paid. SMM, social media marketing, it also tells you how many people are retweeting you, okay, reposting. All of that is good data for you to have. Okay, keyword research. Oh, also with social media marketing, it also lets you know, for someone that is starting out, if you don't have as much content, you can do reposting of other people's content. So these platforms kind of let you see and let you know if you want to repost, so you can kind of get someone that says, hey, maybe I'll start following them and liking what they're putting up there. Competitive research, okay, it gives you that research and that data. It even will let you know who is marketing under your name, who's marketing under your pain point, who's marketing your products and services. So you want that competitive research. PR, press release. If you are doing your digital online products and services online, you want to make sure you are launching press release. Every time when we travel to a country, we launch a press release to let the online will tell you how many times it actually works. So press releases are very important. Content marketing, okay, content marketing, you want to make sure that your content is king. Okay, the more content you have, the more you can market yourself out there. And content can be it can be banners, it can be ebooks, it can be downloadable links, it can be blogs, it can be landing page. You want content that is going to be set up there. Marketing insights, okay, you want to know what's happening around you, marketing wise, and campaign management. All of these are campaigns that you can manage and basically set those goals of what we discussed earlier.
So these are the videos, Naomi, that we just have in here, but they can definitely watch it at your convenience to make it a little easier. We're going to go into a lot of these topics in the next sessions, but this is kind of a quick overview to get kind of your palettes wet. Yeah. To the
and I want to encourage everyone to set up your Google AdWords account. Your Google AdWords account is for free. Okay, your Google AdWords account is basically for free, and you can just set it up. So set up your Google AdWords account. We're definitely going to launch a poll and find out how many people actually set up their Google AdWords. So WE, I'm going to launch that next poll.
Okay.
Okay, and we want to know, okay, what are the business strategies to increase revenue for your business? Okay, do you think you're going to use affiliate marketing? Okay, and you're going to put affiliate marketing software plugin on a WordPress, or you're going to use affiliate marketing Shopify link, and you're going to send it out to people? Are you going to use an ambassador program or brand influencer program? to know what business strategies are you going to use, okay? Then number 2, what different platform do you want to know more about? So this is going to help us for on Friday when we come back, because now you're telling us, we're working together. You're going to tell us what we need to focus on, okay? If we went and passed the CMS, that basic foundation, you're like, hey, no, you need to go back a little bit. I need to know more. You get to let us know that search engine marketing, content marketing, mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is with your phone, apps, text messaging, WhatsApp messaging, all of that is part of the mobile marketing experience, okay? And then we want to know, what social media platform do you want to know more about? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Clubhouse, YouTube, TikTok. Okay, TikTok. We want to know what we need to focus more on. I know we're going to be going through on next session how to set up your shop through Instagram. Okay, so we're going to be showing you how to do that in our next session. So let us know what you would like for us to engage more on the different topics. WE, is there anything you would like to add on that? And we're seeing we have about 50% that have answered the polling question. So please engage. So this will let us know what we need to do next.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, your output is all based on your input. And so we encourage you to make sure that you're engaging in the polls and super active around your business. Our next session is going to be really exciting because we were able to engage with a few of you entrepreneurs that are on this call today. And so we're going to have real-time case studies. We were able to look at a few different businesses, and real-time we've implemented, if we were to be asked on our advice on how to change some things up to help you to generate and to really take this vehicle on a drive. So those case studies are going to have like real images, real breakdowns of how we would scale and build the various businesses. So you definitely want to make sure you're in the next virtual workshop, because a lot of what we talked about today, you get to visually see the implementation of how we would approach the digital platform. So I'm really excited about, I believe it's Thursday, really excited about that session so that we can show you what it means to implement the education that we're sharing today. So Naomi, I'm super curious about this poll because everyone sees it but me, the results. So what are the results? I'm very curious.
Well, it's only 75% voting. It's probably because some is on their phones and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to share the results right now. And I want to encourage everyone to put in their questions and answers, because that's going to be next. We want your questions for us. If there's a particular topic or anything that you want to know, or something that you would like to add to your digital system, I believe we have like about another 5 to 7 minutes. You can ask us those questions and you can put it in the chat right now. So WE, some people that said, what are the best strategies to increase revenue for your business? Now, here's the thing. This is for your business, okay?
Your business.
It's your business. White label may work perfect where you can do white label programs and, vice versa. So 47% says referrals, okay? That is going to work for, that is going to help increase revenue. And that's great, okay? What digital platform do you want to know more about? Okay, so it's a toss up. This is a toss up, and really we got a tie going. It is web development, CMS, search engine optimization, okay, as well as social media marketing. So that is perfect, WE, because you're in social media, I'm in web development, and I think we know some stuff about that.
You swear, this girl swear. Naomi swears I'm a social media queen. That's because she's not on social media, so she doesn't see all the people who are really on social media. I'm like, I can't. I love LinkedIn. That's my favorite platform is LinkedIn because it's more professional, not all the extra fluff. But we can definitely tag team and talk more about that. And we will. The next session is on social media, especially like the integration, how to monetize it. So that's great. Perfect.
Okay, so what social media platform do you want to know more about? Okay, so LinkedIn, that's you. And
Okay.
Clubhouse. And
Got you.
Clubhouse.
Got you. Got
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let me write that down. Clear.
Yes, LinkedIn and Clubhouse. And I want to make sure, and WE, if you can also write down social media and web development, that we can definitely have a little bit more focus on in our next session.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm excited. Y'all got me real excited about LinkedIn and Clubhouse because those are my two favorite platforms. So for that, you could say I love social media. I'll let you say it for those two platforms. But great, awesome. Well, I mean, that takes us to just question and answers. We wrapped up everything for the day for today's workshop. And so we would love to open it up to questions in the chat. I did want to share, I did get a question that was private, but maybe it'd be of use to other people that are in the participation. We were asked what or how did we get the animations in our slide deck, the waving colors and the waving numbers. And we're glad that, you know, presentations, everything communicates. So we use Canva. If you don't use Canva already, you want to, because Canva, let me tell you about Canva. Canva, all these technologies are upgrading their services. If you are not a designer, if you don't have a web designer, you just need Canva. You can do your PowerPoints, social media designs for YouTube, LinkedIn. Everything is resized. You don't even need someone to resize your images. So then a lot of the things are animated. So definitely use Canva. I mean, we do a lot of doctoring and we kind of change things up because we do have access to a whole team of web designers. But the pre-designed templates are perfect. You can upload logos, images, videos. And so it's a beautiful tool and technology to help you with your content development. So if that's useful to anyone, Canva, you definitely want to get a Canva account. And I think it's free. It's like free. If you want to upgrade, great. But it's absolutely free. And you know what Canva is doing now? And we'll talk about it in our next session, social media management with scheduling and the best platforms to use to help you to automate your posts. But Canva is automating posts now. So not only are they helping you to design the images, you can like now schedule. Now I think that's an upgraded subscription, but they just roll that out. So Canva is part of our secret tools here. So definitely you can use that for your next. But any other questions, Naomi, that came privately to you? I don't think I have any in mind. I think I've answered everything in my chat on my end. Otherwise, I think we are just 3 minutes from time. So Lenora or Miss Pat Haynes, we will turn it back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Pat. Just wanted to say thanks to everybody for logging on and listening to the great presentation. Lenora, do we have any housekeeping that we need to discuss before we go?
No, we are fine. Thank you everyone for attending, and we look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you so much. And we'll back with the fire on Thursday. Y'all better get ready because we're about to turn it up a notch.
Okay, that's all good. We look forward to it. It was very, very exciting and very lively.
All right.
No sleeping on Zoom today.
Good.
Sure. Awesome and great. Thank you very, very much, ladies.
Thank you. Great. All right. See you Thursday. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lenora.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
See you later.